నమస్కారం మిత్రులారా. మీ అందరికీ వీడియో మాలికకు ఆహ్వానం. వీడియో మాలికలో తమ అనుభవాలను పంచుకున్న మన మిత్రులందరికీ తలా ఒక ప్రత్యేకత ఉంది. అలాగే ఈరోజు తమ అనుభవాల్ని, తమ అభిప్రాయాల్ని పంచుకోవడానికి వచ్చినటువంటి పివి రావు గారికి కూడా ఒక ప్రత్యేకత ఉంది. ఏమిటంటే పివి రావు గారు పీహెచ్‌డీ. అందరిలాగానే కొన్నాళ్ళు స్ట్రెయిట్ లైన్ కెరియర్ పాత్‌ని ఫాలో అయ్యి, తర్వాత మేనేజ్మెంట్ స్టడీస్ చేసి, పీహెచ్‌డీ సంపాదించి హెచ్ఆర్‌లో కన్సల్టెంట్‌గా స్థిరపడ్డారు. పివి రావు గారి అనుభవాలు మనందరి మిత్రులకే కాకుండా విద్యార్థులు కూడా పనికొస్తాయని చెప్పి నేను భావిస్తున్నాను. రండి, పివి రావు గారు ఏం చెప్తారో విందాం. నమస్కారం రావు గారు.
నమస్కారం అండి.
మీరు శ్రమ తీసుకుని మీ అనుభవాన్ని, మీ అభిప్రాయాల్ని మన మెడికల్ రిప్రజెంటేటివ్స్ కమ్యూనిటీతోనే కాకుండా ఇన్ జనరల్ స్టూడెంట్ కమ్యూనిటీతో కూడా షేర్ చేసుకుంటాను మా ఇంటికి వచ్చారు. చాలా సంతోషం.
ఇట్స్ మై ప్లెజర్ సార్.
మీరు ఐడిపిఎల్ అనే సుప్రసిద్ధమైన కంపెనీలో చాలా రోజులు పనిచేశారు. మన మిత్రులందరికీ మీరు ఐడిపిఎల్ వెంకటేశ్వర గారిగా పరిచయం. మీరు రైట్ సార్. ప్రస్తుతం మీరు హెచ్ఆర్లో మేనేజర్గాను కన్సల్టెంట్గాను ఉంటున్నారు. సో హెచ్ఆర్ తోటే మొదలు పెడదాం.
ఓకే
రైట్ సార్. ఈ హెచ్ఆర్లో చాలా ముఖ్యమైన విషయం ఏంటంటే రైట్ క్యాండిడేట్ ఫర్ ఈచ్ జాబ్ కదండి. అది హౌ ఈజీ ఈజ్ ఇట్ నౌడేస్ అండ్ హౌ డిఫికల్ట్ ఈజ్ ఇట్ నౌడేస్?
Nowadays it is become most difficult job only because as you have been seeing the industry is feeling the shortage of the talented pool, manpower pool. So we are not getting the right person for the right job. And especially if I come to the lower level, if I go to the campuses, I go to Andhra University, I go to Usmania, I go to Vakaraju Rangaraju, I go to some Delhi universities, etc. Where JNTU is my regular Hyderabad JNTU I go. I go to Kakatiya University. So when I go to Geetam, there actually I am finding that the talent pool what I have been seeing in 2007-8, it is that same talent pool is not available now. The student mass lack the concepts in chemistry, especially not only the chemistry, even general behavior, general communication skills, they lack it. That has become a major lacuna in selecting the candidates. If I interview around 100 candidates, I may not get even 5 candidates worth the training and adopting them to the job.
Do you think the difference between 2007 and 2022 or 23 is mainly because of the lack of competition for the admission into colleges like engineering college and management schools, etc.?
People are joining, people are maybe, my proposition is that, people may be joining not with the actual knowledge, because they may be by hearting systems, etc., that may be killing the creative thinking of a student. So they are joining, they are by hearting and they are coming. And when we interview little differently to identify the inner talent of the student, that is totally missing. That is very unfortunate thing.
So you get about 5% or 10% of the students who are fit for it.
Yeah, mostly girls are more eligible for this, especially pharma jobs than the boys. Fear of failure is very very important. Those in our days, in 1980s and 90s, there were very bleak opportunities, very few opportunities where we were afraid of losing job. So we used to commit ourselves and behave like more responsible for the job, for the company, for the job what we are doing and day in and day out. But now the generation is changed. People are moving from lower middle class to higher middle class. They are getting the seats because so many colleges have come, whether it is a B Pharma or MSc or MBA. So people are getting the seats and people are getting educated, and they never, very few people concern about their future. The rest of the people, they fall back on their parents, etc., etc., and they never build up an attitude of fear of failure. That is killing their progress, I feel. they never take care of the job, and they can, even if they get a job within 6 months, 8 months, 1 year time, they just jump into another company. Like that, I've seen people, I don't call a person within 5 years, if at all he changes 3 companies, I don't call the person for an interview, first person interview. Recently, myself and my MD has interviewed a person. He has got around 18 years experience and fluent in English. He's come from Bombay. This job is for clinical trials, very, very, very important job. But that guy in 15 years time, he changed 9 companies. That was the only setback. Because of that, my MD said that we are not hiring him. The package was around 42 lakhs CTC, and the fellow lost the job actually because of frequent changes in companies. Especially for the youngsters, when they join the company, to understand the company, to understand their job role, and to equip themselves with the type of knowledge and some skills to deliver the job, it takes at least 1 to 1.5 years. But this generation is very in a hurry. They want to make money. Even somebody gives around 2,000-3,000 rupees more, they just jump. That is a very unfortunate thing happening.
Yeah. In olden days, if somebody changed jobs frequently, they used to call him a rolling stone.
Rolling stone. Now Rolling Stone gathers moss.
And this brings us to the question. At one time, there was what was called headhunting.
Yeah.
Is it still practiced?
It is practiced at a senior level. That is a manager, or a senior manager, AGM, GM, or a director, or a vice president, a AVP, a associate vice president level. We identify a person, and we start communicating at a senior level. These type of questions are handled by me, and I take this thing. I talk to the candidate. It takes at least 1, 2, 3 months to convince the person why he should join my company. So we start negotiating with them, we start clarifying their doubts, and ultimately we convince them with higher responsibilities and higher packages, etc. And that is happening. And it is the success rate is only 20-25%.
Even then. So this brings me to another question. Suppose you identify a person as suitable candidate for the vacancy you have at senior level.
Yeah.
And you find that he moved into that job, current job, only about a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Would you still bother to recruit him?
Minimum 3 years, if at all. We select the type of profiles where a guy has current experience in the current organization, minimum 3+ years.
3+ years. Okay. Well, that is consistent with your philosophy.
Yeah.
The unions pose a challenge to many of the HR departments. Sometimes unions are passive, sometimes they are cooperative, sometimes they are very aggressive. In your experience, what is this? How will you handle it?
As a manager in IDPL, mid-level manager at the time, we experienced a very we had bitter experiences because of trade unions. They were very, very aggressive, and the company was dwindling, company was not performing well. There was VRS. In spite of that, unions were very aggressive. In 1980s and 90s, India has experienced this trade union movement very severely. So most of the companies performed better in the market. They also suffered because of trade unions. One among is IDPL. We were at the time IDPL was competing with GSK, Glaxo India Limited. Our sale was on par with GSK. Our salaries were on par with GSK at the time. But because of trade union movement, the sale has come down drastically. There was low productivity at the factory level and low productivity at the sales level also. There were some states which were not at all performing well. So they were depending on a few states like Andhra Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Mumbai, that is Maharashtra, Kerala. These states were performing better as far as sales and marketing volume of sales wise. But most of the states were not at all performing. And that's the reason company has really had a financial issues, and ultimately it has led to the closure of IDPL.
My question here is that the states you had mentioned, like Kerala and Andhra Pradesh, we don't lack leftist unions in these parts. But in spite of the leftist unions, these states were performing well in terms of sales.
Yeah.
But what about the other states? There isn't so much of unionism in other states. They're somewhat quiescent even in the other industries.
Yeah.
And still they were not performing.
This may be because of the leadership there.
Mhm.
Some of the leaders actually, we had wonderful bosses where there was a lot of scope to learn from them. There were good trainers for us. There was a technical training as well as sales and marketing training. There were it all leadership matters. In spite of Kerala being a trade union hub, but still Kerala was doing very well for IDPL in the peak trade union movement. During that peak trade union movement. Same is the case with Andhra Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, some extent Madhya Pradesh, like that. So the badly performed states were West Bengal, Bihar, Jammu Kashmir, some extent a part of Uttar Pradesh, like that.
Where leadership is a problem.
Leadership is the problem.
Wow. So if you have a strong leadership,
Yeah.
even if you have a conflict,
Yeah.
there are likely to be good results. Wonderful. This
Because
is really-
there was always a compromise. People are conscious about their responsibilities. People are conscious about their commitment to the company, and there were no good opportunities outside at that time. Also, people were concerned about their jobs and their families. That has driven them to perform in a better fashion.
Yeah, if IDPL union people's salaries were on par with GSK, it is very difficult for them to find same salaries outside.
Outside. Yes.
Right? There
Yeah.
were hardly a few people who could pay as well.
There are bad examples also. People who left IDPL, joined other companies as medical reps or frontline managers, second line managers. They all failed. They could not do better. I don't know why. They could not do better. That was the fear people used to have to leave IDPL and join other companies those times.
All said and done, IDPL was a very cozy environment.
Yeah.
It was a government job,
Yeah.
protection,
Yeah.
rules and regulations, everything is clear. Once you step outside,
It's yeah.
rules and regulations and
Yeah.
all that
Yeah.
are given a go by. People go by impressions,
Yeah.
etc.
Yeah.
I think that was the cocktail for disaster.
Yeah. I have seen in IDPL itself, the people who are workaholics, they never skipped their work, they were committed, they all came up in life. After 20 years, if I evaluate, we look back and see those people who were called that they are the workaholics and they were very committed, they were concerned about their job profile and deliveries, etc. And now I see they have all come up in life. They are all at a very good position in a variety of companies, in variety of roles.
Exactly. Their sincerity is the key to their
Yeah,
success.
yeah. Somewhere, if not IDPL, somewhere it is recognized.
Right.
Yeah.
The unions were very aggressive for some time.
Yeah.
Then the aggression of the pharmaceutical unions came down gradually, or it is absent today.
Yeah.
Now, how did this happen?
No, it does not. It is not the case with only pharma industry. In India, after globalization, the trade union drive, trade union movement, trade union laws have changed in the parliament. So they don't have that much of great say, aggressive say with the managements. So now the trade union movement has come down because there are variety of laws, and even management's very concerned about now taking care of the people's interests. People, until unless there is a union leader goes and bargains the salary, it is not happening. Every year the negotiation happens in the month of April or in the month of October. Where it is a small company or a big company, salaries are taken care on par with the industry. And the interests are taken care, like our canteen facility, transport facility. dress facility, uniform facility, and safety at the workplace. Everything is taken care far, far better than what happened in 1970s, 80s, 90s. So employees are not looking for trade union to address his issues.
Okay, I got it.
వీవీరావు గారు మనందరిలాగానే జీవితంలో అప్స్ అండ్ డౌన్స్ని చూశారు. చాలా ఛాలెంజెస్ని ఫేస్ చేశారు. చాలా సిచ్యువేషన్స్ని రెమెడీ చేశారు. ఈ అనుభవాలు వారు నేర్చుకున్నటువంటి గుణపాఠాలు విద్యార్థులకు ఉపయోగపడుతుందని నేను భావిస్తున్నాను. నమస్కారం.